We need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly.
Good morning. It is 9:08 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. How are you? I feel awkward. Does it look as awkward on the YouTube stream as I feel?
Because you're not used to a basket?
Yeah, we have the microphone being held up by a basket.
Yeah, normally when you receive a basket, it's like of like goodies and whatnot.
Dan Mandis broke the microphone, and now, geez, we got this basket.
Everyone else has to deal with the things that he's left behind.
You know,
in the wake of his show,
the destruction that Mandis wreaks.
He gestures and fiddles and.
It's like he breaks stuff, and then he's like, I'm probably just going to do the show from home the rest of the week with the weather coming. I'm like, what do you mean? You can't do that.
No, you have to come in. You broke the mic.
Man, we got a lot to talk about today. You guys are welcome to join the show, 615-737-9986. You can listen to us anywhere, iHeartRadio, tune in the FM dial. You can watch us as well. You can see my wonderful fruit basket that is holding up the microphone because we run a professional operation here on Supertalk TV, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. I say that in jest, who could have known that this thing would have broke?
Yeah, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
You guys excited about the snow?
I'm going back and forth on it, honestly.
I'd be excited if it was going to be snow, but they keep on changing.
Yeah.
And it keeps on going further away, like down.
Are you being a pessimist, Joan?
I am. It's going to be some bad winds by the time it gets here.
I've been going by, I know you're just getting back into the swing of things. I've been going by Apple weather all week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris is using Apple Maps to find his weather.
I'm using Apple Maps and Apple Weather. Apple Weather is telling me that we could get 26 inches on Saturday and another inch on Sunday. So that's what I'm going with. It's going to be, we're looking at 40, 60 inches of snow.
At least.
At the very least.
I know you're excited about that, and as I would be too, Pat.
I'm very excited to go sledding. What I'm not excited about is the ice.
Yeah, that's
the ice adds a different element to everything. When I was 18, I moved in the middle of an ice storm because we were 18 and we were insane and we didn't know any better.
Yeah, that sounds wild.
It was me and two buddies. They were brothers, RJ and Neil, and we loaded up a U-Haul from Pepperell, Massachusetts, and we brought it to Nashua, New Hampshire, and we moved into our apartment during an ice storm. No power in the entire apartment complex, right? We were on the second floor. So this is the first night we move in. Obviously, we throw a party because why wouldn't you?
Of course.
And we borrowed a generator. So we had a generator on our second floor balcony. Like, welcome to the neighborhood, guys. We just moved in. So it's like, 2 a.m. and we got the generator just cranking and we are raging. And it was actually, we had a great time.
You had a great time. Your neighbors, maybe not so much.
I don't think the neighbors liked us after that.
Just a little bit.
But the ice storms are no joke, man. You're going to hear some trees exploding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So in my neighborhood, the power lines are buried under the ground, but over on the main street, they're all up on the poles. So who knows what's going to happen? But if you got weak trees in the area, you could be looking at major power outages as the ice starts to weigh everything down. So keep your head on a swivel. If you got a generator, make sure you have gas. And if you don't have a generator, make sure you got blankets. That would be my advice.
Also, put gas in your cars. A lot of people forget that and it's
Yes.
park it overnight. And it's like, oh, well, I have like a quarter tank. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, put at least half, because if you have to charge stuff in your vehicle or everything gets too cold that it starts affecting the insides of your vehicle, you're going to want like a full tank.
Also, if you
at
get
least.
stuck out on the road, I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
you're going to want to keep that car on.
When my wife and I lived in Michigan for a bit, we had just had a new baby, and then the power went out from the snow, and we spent a good 2.5 hours watching movies in the car.
Man.
So I mean, but it was warm. It was warm. I'll take it. So yeah, all those things are good advice. We'll keep you updated on all the snow happenings here on Super Talk. I know Joan Jones has been in like this group thread with Stefano DiPietro nonstop, so she's getting all the latest.
I get the
details.
inside scoop.
He's telling her what the European models are saying before the Europeans even know. So we'll keep you updated. Donald Trump in Davos. I'm very excited about this. The president going to the World Economic Forum, where he put his foot down and said, no, we're going to own everything and be happy. We're not going to own nothing and be happy. That's not what we do. This is America. So we got some of the highlights here. I haven't heard the speech, if I'm being completely honest with you. It was going on while Mandis was on the air, and I never miss an episode of Mandis in the morning, so I didn't listen to this live. But we do have the highlights. They're leaking out. But before we get to Donald Trump, I just want to acknowledge how much of a badass gangster Scott Bessent is. Can we all just have a moment of appreciation for Scott Bessent before we get into the president's speech? Because yesterday there was a clip going around where he was calling out Europe for continuing to buy Russian oil. He's like, by the way, you're all still buying Russian oil. Like, you're absolutely part of the problem, calling out Europe. And I thought, good for you, man. Little did I know he was going to go even farther. Earlier today, he's speaking in Davos, and he noticed that Gavin Newsom is also in Davos. And Scott Bessent, my gosh, the fruit basket. Scott Bessent has some thoughts on Gavin Newsom.
I think it's very, very ironic that Governor Newsom, who strikes me as Patrick Bateman meets Sparkle Beach Ken, may be the only Californian who knows less about economics than Kamala Harris. He's here this week with his billionaire sugar daddy, Alex Soros. And Davos is the perfect place for a man who, when everyone else was on lockdown, when he was having people arrested for going to church, he was having $1,000 a night meals at the French Laundry. And I'm sure the California people won't forget that. And I can tell my message to Governor Newsom is the Trump administration is coming to California. We are going to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse. And I was told he was asked to give a speech on his signature policies, but he's not speaking. Because what have his economic policies brought? Outward migration from California, a gigantic budget deficit, the largest homeless population in America, and the poor folks in the Palisades who had their homes burned down. He is here hobnobbing with the global elite while his California citizens are still homeless. Shame on him. He is too smug, too self-absorbed, and too economically illiterate to know anything.
Whoa. Somebody check on Gavin Newsom.
He's down, Scott. He's down.
He's already dead. I'd like to report a murder. Whoa. He said he was Sparkle Ken mixed with what? Hold on. Just to appreciate the greatness of Scott Bessent. Dude, I think we should play this from the top one more time.
I think it's very, very ironic that Governor Newsom, who strikes me as Patrick Bateman meets Sparkle Beach Ken.
Oh my gosh. Whoa. The absolute savage.
May be the only Californian who knows less about economics than Kamala Harris.
Oh my gosh. Whew, Scott. Was Scott drinking tequila or something? Because Scott's ready for a fight. Scott Bessent is ready for a fist fight.
He's here this week with his billionaire sugar daddy, Alex Soros. And the Davos is a perfect place for a man who, when everyone else was on lockdown, when he was having people arrested for going to church, he was having $1,000 a night meals at the French Laundry. And I'm sure the California people won't forget that.
Well, they vote blue no matter who. I think the people that in California that won't forget that have probably left California already. Know quite a few of them in Murfreesboro, actually.
Yeah. Welcome to Nashville.
What an absolute savage Scott Bessent is. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. Donald Trump, though, also laying the hammer down in Davos moments ago. He opens it up by saying he's there to address friends, business leaders, a couple enemies.
And to address so many respected business leaders, so many friends, few enemies, and all of the distinguished guests. It's a who's who, I will say that. I've come to this year's World Economic Forum with truly phenomenal news from America.
It has been phenomenal news from America. Donald Trump is reshaping the economy. He's reshoring manufacturing. He's putting America first. And I think it's hard to argue with that. President Trump continued. He did have the room laughing. He had the room laughing quite a bit.
And we're at a point that I don't believe we've ever been. I never thought we could do it this quickly. My biggest surprise is I thought it would take more than a year, maybe like a year and 1 month. But it's happened very quickly. This afternoon,
So he gets him laughing, he gets him feeling comfortable, and then he goes for the throat. And he talks to the globalists. He openly calls them out in a room full of them, and he starts talking about how a lot of parts of the world are being destroyed, and the leadership in those parts of the world have no idea what to do.
Very foolishly followed, turning their backs on everything that makes nations rich and powerful and strong. And there's so much potential in so many nations. The result was record budget and trade deficits and a growing sovereign deficit driven by the largest wave of mass migration in human history. We've never seen anything like it. Quite frankly, many parts of our world are being destroyed before our very eyes, and the leaders don't even understand what's happening. And the ones that do understand aren't doing anything about it. Virtually all of the so-called experts predicted my plans to end this failed model would trigger a global recession and runaway inflation. But we have proven them wrong. It's actually just the opposite. In 1 year, our agenda has produced a transformation like America has not seen in over 100 years.
So many things the president's saying there, completely correct. Let's start with the experts. How many experts do we hear saying that the tariffs were going to ruin the economy? Spoiler alert, we took in $300 billion, and we're going to be taking in more. And the president yesterday during the press briefing says some of that money is going to be broken off for the American people in the form of dividend checks. Not sure I'm a huge fan of that, but the president says that they're coming before midterms. He also says that many of these leaders are destroying their own countries. And he's right. When you look at what's happening in places like England and France, Germany, it's hard to argue against that. The mass migration that they're bringing in, the prioritizing refugees over their own citizens, it's a problem in the West and a problem that needs to be rectified. However, it seems like out of all the world leaders we got in Davos, Donald Trump is the only one with the stones to address it. We're going to bring you all the highlights from Trump in Davos on the way. If you want to watch the video, you can find us on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. We appreciate you listening. However you're listening, help us grow the digital footprint of the radio station. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the share button. Thank you for doing so. We got a lot of updates on the way. We'll be keeping you updated on the weather impending this weekend all day long here on the Chris Hand Show. And we'll be taking your phone calls and your text messages, 615-737-9986. It's 921 on Super Talk. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at the Glock store. Love these guys. I love training at the Glock store. I love shooting at the Glock store. The guys are the best. Shopping there is always a breeze. I've been doing it for years, and I'm going to continue doing it. They got a lifelong customer in Chris Hand, and they got the latest Glocks in stock. Have you heard about the new one, the Gen 6? These are the ones with the new optic system, the RTF6 texturing, the enlarged beaver tail, the flat-face trigger guard undercut, the integrated thumb rest, a.k.a. the gas pedal. This thing has everything. I mean, it's an unbelievable gun. The Gen 6 Glocks are the most refined stock Glocks ever produced. And, of course, as you would imagine, the Glock store got their hands on some. Spoiler alert, they're already gone. I know. It's like good news, bad news. But here's the thing. They got a batch of G17s, 19s, and 45s, but everybody was allowed to pre-order them. So they're already gone. If you want to pre-order one, you should. Head down to the Glock store, see how they look, feel, shoot, and when you love it, you will. Tell them you want to pre-order one. Tell them that you heard about it on the Chris Hand Show. When you pick up that pre-ordered G17, G19, or 45 Gen 6, they're going to give you an extra magazine for free just by listening to the Chris Hand Show. This is a limited time offer, only from the Glock store, minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere. Hello. What's up, guys? Welcome in to the YouTube exclusive content. I'm just hanging out, so I'm gonna read some of the chat log. Let's see what we got. Lindsay wants us to put the fruit back. I don't know what happened to the fruit. Mandis did something with the fruit. What is it? Dazzling Dana. The hubby is out getting our milk and bread. I'm in my jammies watching the Chris Hand Show. Anecdotally, the best way to watch the Chris Hand Show is, in fact, in jammies. Chris, at least you're not having to hold the mic like Phil, Maury, Jerry. That's true. People are saying we need batteries. You got to get more batteries. Lindsay says get batteries. AA, AAA. If you're like me, you got 4 kids in the house, you never have any batteries. It's just a constant battle. And then the things that did have batteries no longer have them. Just bananas. Let's see. Avery's getting some Eggland's best eggs, $5. That's a good deal. And James loves James. It's good. Look at Snark. Snark is also in jammies. Listen, people love wearing jammies and watching the Chris Hand Show. This is just undisputed at this point. Everybody understands. I wish I was also still in my jammies. Let's see. Oh, Magnificent said you need to get some propane. We got one of the little campfire propane things. Do you guys have that? We can do like the hot plate. I got that. I should check. I should double check that they're full. What's your must-have for winter weather? We are actually doubling down on our hot chocolate reserves. That's something that we are very focused on in the Hand household. You got to have your hot chocolate reserve stocked. We have some left over. Matt Murphy's wife, she always makes these Christmas baskets for the kids. So we have the Murphilago approved hot chocolate mix, but we did stock up on the Swiss Miss just in case. So getting ready for the winter weather. We appreciate you guys. Oh, who's running to? James going to go to Harbor Freight and buy a generator? Pick me one up. I don't have the money to pay you back, but if you'll get me one, I'll take it. I will. Candles. Lindsay said candles. Got to get some candles. Get some candles. All right, we'll do this. We'll do this more. We'll try and do this a bit more. I really do appreciate you guys on the YouTube chat. So I want to try and interact more as we can. So appreciate you guys being here. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends, all the things. Leave a comment too. Can you comment while the live stream's going on? So leave a comment too. It tickles the algo. We're in the algo tickling business. We're going to rejoin radio. We'll see you guys on the other side. Appreciate you.
Up ahead, President Trump's big announcement on Greenland made before the World Economic Forum just this morning, and why a Federal Reserve governor is going to the Supreme Court today. Those stories at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Donald Trump dunking on those globalist elites in Davos. Huge fan. He wanted to let everybody know that oil production is up and the USA open for business. This is Trump in Davos.
Sleepy Joe Biden. New domestic oil and gas leases fell by 95%. Think of that. And they wonder, why was gasoline going up so fast? The gasoline actually topped $5 a gallon, and some places $7 a gallon, and more than 100 major power plants were violently shut down by incompetent people that had no idea what the hell they were doing. Under my leadership, U.S. natural gas production is at an all-time high by far. U.S. oil production is up by 730,000 barrels. 50 million barrels from Venezuela alone. Venezuela has been an amazing place for so many years, but then they went bad.
They went bad, so we snuck in with direct energy weapons, and we made them rethink their current position. Nicolas Maduro, by the way, sitting in a New York prison. Donald Trump, though, taking a victory lap on the oil production, talking his crap to the so-called experts.
People that actually thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was doing the right thing. Now they all think I'm doing the right thing because they can't believe the numbers. American exports are now up by more than $150 billion. Domestic steel production is up by 300,000 tons a month, and it's doubling over the next 4 months. It's doubling and tripling, and we have steel plants being built all over the country. Nobody thought they'd see that. Factory construction is up by 41%, and that number is really going to skyrocket right now because that's during a process that they're putting in to get their approvals, and we've given very, very quick, fast approvals. In the process, we've made historic trade deals with partners covering 40% of all U.S. trade. Some of the greatest companies and countries in the world. We have countries as our partner, too. The European nations, Japan, South Korea.
And how did he make those trade deals again? Oh, yeah. That's right. Tariffs. Tariffs got the trade rebalanced. Tariffs brought in $300 billion. Going full America first made this happen. And Donald Trump is breaking it down for the globalists in Davos. On the way, we'll bring you more from Donald Trump in Davos at the World Economic Forum. Also, we'll stop down real quick. My buddy Jason in Wilson County, he has a bit of an issue going on tonight with a Wilson County school board. He's going to break it all down for us, tell you where you need to show up and show out so that way we don't let the Democrats indoctrinate the kids. So we'll talk to Jason right after the news with Joan Jones. Plus, we'll take any of your calls, 615-737-9986. A lot going on, a little bit of time. Appreciate you hanging out with us on the Chris Hand Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. President Trump is making it clear that the U.S. wants Greenland, but he's also announced at the World Economic Forum that he's not going to use U.S. military force to get it.
So we want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. We've never asked for anything else, and we could have kept that piece of land, and we didn't. So they have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember.
Yeah, the president telling world leaders that he's planning to build a golden dome for the protection of countries in the Western Hemisphere. The race to replace Governor Bill Lee is heating up as major candidates pick up their qualifying petitions.
The Tennessean says Senator Marsha Blackburn and Congressman John Rose both launched active signature drives this month, joined by Democrat Jerry Green and others. Blackburn says she'll work closely with the Trump administration and expand private school choice, while Congressman Rose is pushing for debates and stronger investment enforcement and infrastructure. Voters will make their first decisions in the August 6th primary. Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Happening today, a member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors is asking the Supreme Court to make President Trump back off. He wants to fire her.
The law says a member of the Federal Reserve Board can be removed for cause, but the law doesn't define that term. The administration argues Biden appointee Lisa Cook deserves to be fired for making misrepresentations on 2 mortgage applications, claiming each property was her primary residence. Cook argues those allegations have never been proven or even tested in court. Board Chair Jerome Powell, who's now himself the subject of a probe over the Fed's ongoing renovation, will be on hand for the argument.
That's ABC's Stephen Portnoy. That's the latest news. We've got your weather up next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. If you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, sciatica, herniated or bulging discs, you're probably already stressing about the snow. You're like, man, I'm going to feel this after I shovel all of this junk out of here. You know that you could be shoveling pain-free, at least as close to pain-free as you can get, because you can fix the pain in your life with the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Dr. Mitchell and his team are the first and only office in Tennessee with a brand new device called the HydroWave. It's going to stimulate stem cells for real cellular healing. No opioids, no surgery, no injections. You pair that with their non-surgical spinal and knee decompression, it's about as advanced as it gets. These guys are going to use anti-gravity machines, robotic lasers. They're going to take the time to review your MRI, help you understand it, explain what's going on, and then fix it. These guys are the best in the business. You can get back to a pain-free life in 2026. It is absolutely possible. It starts with a phone call, 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, or find them online, painisbad.com. It's 9:37, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Donald Trump in Davos, World Economic Forum going on. All the global elites gathering around to talk about how they're going to manipulate the entire world. Donald Trump says, well, you're not going to manipulate America because we're back to America first. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the show. I got some audio on Trump in Greenland. Real quick, though, I do want to stop down for a local issue real fast. Our buddy Jason in Wilson County is on the line. Jason, just give everybody a quick reminder of what's happening, what the issue is, as concisely as you can with the Wilson County School Board.
Okay. Thank you, Chris, for letting me be on again. So the meeting was last night. So, and I guess when I tried to call in yesterday, there was an issue with the phone lines. But I appreciate the opportunity to try to get more people out. As Dave Chappelle said, you get paid for the attempt, right? So we tried that one, and but so we were able to get a Republican appointed to that open school board seat.
Let's go.
It's on an interim basis. Yeah, well, we shouldn't pat ourselves on the back too hard because just quickly, out of 25 Republican county commissioners, it took 2 votes to get 13 of them to vote for the Republican candidate. There was a lot of talk. A lot of Democrats came and talked, and their main talking point is, why are we making these local races partisan? Well, they made them partisan when they dominated the school board and they crammed their agenda down our throats.
Yep.
I'll just say that. But they have this election cycle. They have 30 Democrat candidates on the Wilson County ballot. They have 27 for county level offices, and they have 7 candidates running for school board. So we're not the only ones making it partisan. They're holding their own partisan election. So there's that. And I would like to read off the names of the people that did vote for the Republican, if I can.
By all means.
That's okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, these are the Republican county commissioners that voted to put a Republican on the school board. Robert Fields, Rick Brown, Bobby Franklin, Chad Barnard, Kevin Cosley, Blake Hall, Jeremy Hobbs, Diane Weathers, Lauren Breeze, Glenn Denton, Danny Clark, Justin Smith, and John Gentry.
I love
John
it.
Gentry's not running for re-election, but they all deserve our thanks.
Yes, sir.
There were 2 of them, however, that one nominated an independent and 2 voted for that independent on the first round. We almost lost the first round because 2 of the Republicans that finally did come over and vote for a Republican voted for an independent. And so we almost had a Democrat in that seat.
Yeah, I mean, when they say independent, that's like, oh, are you really, or are you just telling us that so that way you can get in and do your thing as a Democrat?
Exactly.
It's always the latter.
Exactly.
Hey, Jason, I appreciate what you're doing out there in Wilson County. I appreciate you really staying on top of what's happening with our kids, and just salute you, man. Anytime you got an issue, you're just welcome to call in, all right?
Thank you, sir, so much.
Hey, appreciate it. 615-737-9986. Shout out to Jason in Wilson County. Good work. Good work is being done by good people. We're huge fans of that. Donald Trump in Davos, he's not happy about the windmills. They're killing all the birds and the whales. So he had to call him out on it.
Windmills all over Europe. There are windmills all over the place, and they are losers. One thing is that the more windmills a country has, the more money that country loses and the worse that country is doing. China makes almost all of the windmills, and yet I haven't been able to find any wind farms in China. Did you ever think of that? It's a good way of looking at it. They're smart. China's very smart. They make them, they sell them for a fortune. They sell them to the stupid people that buy them.
Whoa. Shots fired. China makes all the windmills, but I've never seen a windmill farm in China. Is that not an indictment on the windmills in and of itself? I think it is. And kudos to the president for calling that out in front of all these ridiculous leftists who get on their private jets to go to conferences and cry about climate change.
But they don't use them themselves. They put up a couple of big wind farms, but they don't use them. They just put them up to show people what they could look like. They don't spin. They don't do anything. They use a thing called coal mostly. But China goes with the coal. They go with oil and gas. They're starting to look at nuclear.
We need to look at nuclear. And I know the president has ramped back up coal. He calls it clean coal. Pennsylvania is very, very happy about that. But the energy, especially in the AI race, we're going to have to go nuclear in this country full scale. And I pray that we do it very, very soon. Big topic of conversation in Davos has been the president's love affair with Greenland, shall we say. The willingness to acquire Greenland has been at the tip of every tongue in Davos. And President Trump addressed that earlier this morning.
We saw this in World War II when Denmark fell to Germany after just 6 hours of fighting and was totally unable to defend either itself or Greenland. So the United States was then compelled, we did it, we felt an obligation to do it, to send our own forces to hold the Greenland territory, and hold it we did at great cost and expense. They didn't have a chance of getting on it, and they tried. Denmark knows that. We literally set up bases on Greenland for Denmark. We fought for Denmark. We weren't fighting for anyone else. We were fighting to save it for Denmark. Big, beautiful piece of ice. It's hard to call it land. It's a big piece of ice. But we saved Greenland and successfully prevented our enemies from gaining a foothold in our hemisphere. So we did it for ourselves also. And then after the war, which we won it big. Without us, right now you'd all be speaking German and a little Japanese, perhaps. After the war, we gave Greenland back to Denmark. How stupid were we to do that? But we did it. But we gave it back. But how ungrateful are they now? So now our country and the world face much greater risks than it did ever before because of missiles, because of nuclear, because of weapons of warfare that I can't even talk about. 2 weeks ago, they saw weapons that nobody ever heard of. They weren't able to fire one shot at us. They said, what happened? Everything was discombobulated. They said, we've got them in our sights. Press the trigger, and nothing happened. No anti-aircraft missiles went up. There was one that went up about 30 feet and crashed down right next to the people that sent it. They said, what the hell is going on? Those defensive systems were made by Russia and by China. So they're going to go back to the drawing boards, I guess. Greenland is a vast, almost entirely uninhabited and undeveloped territory that's sitting undefended in a key strategic location between the United States, Russia, and China. That's exactly where it is, right smack in the middle. Wasn't important nearly when we gave it back,
Donald Trump making the case that Greenland is very important, but it wasn't always important to Denmark. It's important now. Saying that Denmark is ungrateful to the United States for giving it back after World War II. He said, we gave Greenland back to Denmark. How stupid were we to do that? And then he touts the military capabilities that we saw in action in Venezuela, and it does seem like he's giving a bit of a warning. The president continued on Greenland.
In 2019, Denmark said that they would spend over $200 million to strengthen Greenland's defenses. But as you know, they spent less than 1% of that amount. 1%. There's no sign of Denmark there. And I say that with great respect for Denmark, whose people I love, whose leaders are very good. It's the United States alone that can protect this giant mass of land, this giant piece of ice, develop it and improve it and make it so that it's good for Europe and safe for Europe and good for us. And that's the reason I'm seeking immediate negotiations to once again discuss the acquisition of Greenland by the United States, just as we have acquired many other territories throughout our history, as many of the European nations have. They've acquired. There's nothing wrong with it. Many of them, some went in reverse, actually, if you look. Some had great, vast wealth, great, vast lands.
I mean, that the attention in the room just totally focused on President Trump. You could hear a pin drop when he stops to take a breath. Talking about in 2019, Denmark said they would spend over $200 million to strengthen Greenland's defenses. But as you know, they spent less than 1% of that amount. What did he say the other day? That it's protected by 2 dog sleds? 2 dog sleds. The president, however, did go on to rule out the use of military force in Greenland on his way to acquiring it.
Are you here? Yes, he's here. Hello, Mark.
Oh, Mark Root, that's the...
We never asked for anything.
UN.
And we never got anything. General. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. Okay? Now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force. All the United States is asking for is a place called Greenland, where we already had it as a trustee, but respectfully returned it back to Denmark not long ago after we defeated the Germans, the Japanese, the Italians, and others in World War II. We gave it back to them. We were a powerful force then, but we are a much more powerful force now after I rebuilt the military in my first term and continue to do so today. We have a budget of $1.5 trillion. We're bringing back battleships. The battleship is 100 times more powerful than the great battleships.
Yeah, he's talked about it before, the USS Trump. I don't think that's what it's actually going to be called, but that's what I'm going to call it. The battleships are going to be awesome, but ruling out military force, ruling out just taking Greenland. He said that's probably the biggest statement I made. Everyone's saying, oh, good, I won't use force. All the U.S. is asking for is Greenland. We already had it as a trustee. We respectfully returned it to Denmark, and we're much more powerful now. 615-737-9986. Let's go to Brian on the road. Your thoughts on Donald Trump in Davos so far, Brian?
Hey, Chris, I'm just laughing because the way he presents things and says things, there's a lot of puckered butts that ain't puckered right now just because of what he said. But he always, if you listen real closely, he always says, don't put me in a corner, though, because I'll come out fighting. And I love it when people bully bullies. They're crazy. They're stupid. He's not a bully. He's a guy that comes in. He's the guy like one of the movies made a long time ago where the biggest kid in the neighborhood was a nice kid. And he calmed everybody down when they tried to pick on the small kids. Sandlot, I think. The guy that was the best baseball player.
Okay.
He took care of people. That's what Trump does. He loves people. And on the subject of China, when you were talking about the windmills, he's so right about things. This guy is such a brilliant guy and his team that people are so stupid. I have a tendency to say that to people's faces sometimes when I think they are. And I think that's why I like him, because why be fake to people when you're talking about them behind their back too?
Well, and I love the way he
goes ahead.
He breaks it down so that way everyday Americans can understand. He's like, China makes all the windmills. I've never seen a windmill farm in China. Weird.
No, and that's right. And they also manufacture all the fentanyl and other things, but they don't have a drug problem. How stupid of us to not realize that we've been the fool for so long. Yep. And I love the way he, like you said, he breaks it down for everyday Americans. But you know what? We're a stupid people. We are. I mean, we put people in there, and I never called Biden a president. Never. He's never been my president ever, ever, ever.
He was the resident.
Whether he or not.
Yeah, he was the resident in chief. I'm with you, Brian.
That's exactly right. So anyway, keep up the thought process on the pro sports too. That's an aside that I just want to kick in there. When you started saying I don't follow it anymore and all because of what happened when it started the crap back in 2021, 2020, I'm a huge sports guy, and it's hard for me not to watch. But I love it that you don't support them anymore because they don't stand for anything. They fall for everything.
I'm with you, and it's getting tougher. You know, my boys are 6 and 8 now, and they're getting more and more into sports, and so they want to watch it. And I'll put like the NFL on. We did it last weekend. The Patriots were playing, and it's I grew up with Tom Brady, so it's weird for the boys to see the Patriots in a playoffs game. But I put it on. I put it on, and what do I see? It's like. The back of the helmet's choose love. It's like, oh gosh, what are we supposed to choose?
It's sad, Chris. You are doing the right thing though. I tell my daughter all the time, the one that knows, I think she knows you and your wife. She's met you guys at
your daughter's a sweetheart.
Her and her husband are doing the same exact thing. They're not going with the way of the world, and it's hard because a lot of their friends are. So don't give in. Don't you cave, because I'm behind you too, bro.
I appreciate you, Brian. Thanks for the call, man. I got time for one more. Dalton in Franklin. What's up, Dalton? Thanks for holding, man. What do you got?
China has more wind farms than any other country. Why do you keep repeating his lies to your moronic listeners?
It's this guy. What do you do for work?
I'm self-employed, so I have time to call shows like yours. Other people make me money. Can you address the wind farms? China has more wind farms than any other country. I'm not being a proponent for wind, but why does he lie, and then why do you repeat the lies?
China is building more coal plants than any other country in the world right now.
No, we're talking about wind. We're talking about wind.
If wind was so effective, why would they be building all the coal plants?
I'm not saying it's effective. I'm just saying they have more wind farms than any other country.
I mean,
so
that's great. They have a wind farm in St. Croix. The windmills never turn because the salt air ruined the windmills immediately. So you can tell me that they have wind farms. Are they active? Are they being used? I mean, give me the data. I'm absolutely going to trust the president over some weird guy that calls into radio stations to argue with hosts all the time.
Because you're a MAGA idiot.
Got you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'm sorry. They have more wind farms than anyone else.
Okay.
You don't like facts? I know facts.
Give me your source.
And
Give me your source.
I know ChatGPT.
Oh, thank you. Perfect. Appreciate
China, 520.
Appreciate the call, Dalton. He's a New Jersey Republican, and he calls into everybody's shows. These people, what are you doing with your life? Why are you spending all of this time just raging and coping and seething over Donald Trump? And you're angry because he goes to Davos and he says to the globalists, I'm going to put America first. And he calls them out over the BS that he sees. You're buying all the windmills from China. China doesn't use them. So let me trust Dalton, the guy who spends his days angrily calling Republican shows to own the MAGA idiots. No, I'll continue trusting Trump, who just so happens to be right about just about everything. 9:56, it's Super Talk, 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at BusyBee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. If your system is not working the way it needs to, you should honestly call them today. Like you should get on the phone and you should get BusyBee out to your house immediately because you don't want to find out the hard way that thing's going to crap out over the weekend. BusyBee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is going to make it easy to stay warm and worry-free. Maybe you need to replace the HVAC unit. You can get 0% financing for 18 months, a complimentary UV light treatment with any new system install, and a free 5-year labor upgrade. That's a $750 value. You can make it happen today before the snow arrives. Maybe you're good on the heat, but you got some plumbing needs. Same 0% financing applies. Free 50-gallon water heater with select repipes or $600 off if that doesn't apply. These guys are the absolute best. We use them at our home. You should use them too. We're proud Beehive Club members. If you haven't joined the Beehive Club, you can buy one, get one all month long. Get a Beehive Club membership for you. Give one to a family member, a friend, a neighbor. Just call my guys at BusyBee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. BusyBeeHVAC.com.
Good morning. It's 10:01. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. The chances of a serious winter storm increasing now, but it includes snow, ice, and rain. Channel 4's Stefano DiPietro telling us this winter storm will hit on Friday night after midnight.
So here's what we know for right now. That major winter storm becoming more likely. This is going to be a long duration event, meaning that this will start late Friday evening into Friday night and last all the way through our day on Sunday, potentially. It will be cold enough for both ice and snow across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. And with cold air lingering for so long, road conditions are going to be hazardous for quite a while.
Yeah, we're going to stay on top of this storm as it approaches. Keep it here. We'll bring you all the latest. As for today, we do have some rain, and Stefano's forecast is coming up after the news. President Trump has put to rest all of those rumors that he would deploy U.S. forces to take Greenland. Here's that announcement that he made before the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, early this morning.
We never asked for anything, and we never got anything. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. Okay? Now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force.
President Trump stuck around and took questions as well. Death row executions will go on in Tennessee, but maybe with a new twist.
Tennessee's execution protocol may be changing after a ruling from Nashville Chancellor Aisha Miles, who ordered the state to allow reporters to watch the entire execution, not just a brief portion of it. Tony Carruthers is scheduled to be executed on May 21st, the first of this year. He was convicted of a brutal 1994 triple murder in Memphis where 3 people were shot and strangled, then buried alive in a cemetery. Prosecutors say the victims had dirt in their noses and mouths, proving they died from suffocation. Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Stocks are charging ahead now on Wall Street after President Trump rolled out military action on Greenland. The Dow Jones Industrial is right now up 467 points. That's the latest news. We've got weather ahead. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
There used to be some common truths in America. Republicans and Democrats used to be, we could all agree that we had to have some semblance of border protection. Now, Republicans and conservatives still want border protection, but the Democrats, the progressives, they want a wide open border. It used to be that Republicans and Democrats could, at the very least, agree that crime was bad and committing crimes was bad, and that the perpetrators of such crimes should at the very least be charged and perhaps go to jail after their day in court. Now you have the Democrats that don't even believe that criminals who are committing crimes should even face charges. Just the basic, what is a man and what is a woman? The basic truth of, look down, what are you? The Democrats don't even have that right.
Hey, this is Pastor Allen, and join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
It's 10:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeart, TuneIn, the FM dial. You can watch us YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, Facebook, all the places. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. We've been digging through some of this Donald Trump audio from Davos. President Trump going to put the globalist elites in their place earlier this morning. After a bit of technical difficulties on Air Force One, we were doing prep last night, and I was watching, was Trace Gallagher, he does the night show, and it's on in the background, and I'll tell you what, makes your ears perk up when you hear Air Force One is turning around. It's like, what? And they said it was electrical problems. Oh, okay, I'm sure this is fine. So they took a different plane. Trump made it to Davos in time, and he's dropping bombs, man. Verbal bombs. No military force being used in Greenland, but he's dropping some bombs. He brought up the 2020 election. I found this very, very interesting. I wonder if you'll find it interesting as well.
Thousands of miles away, separated by a giant ocean. It's a war that should have never started, and it wouldn't have started if the 2020 U.S. presidential election weren't rigged. It was a rigged election. Everybody now knows that. They found out. People will soon be prosecuted for what they did. It's probably breaking news, but it should be. It was a rigged election.
Did he just say people are going to be prosecuted for what they did in the 2020 election? Rewind that tape a little bit. Hang on a second.
Presidential election weren't rigged. It was a rigged election. Everybody now knows that. They found out. People will soon be prosecuted for what they did. It's probably breaking news, but it should be. It was a rigged election. Can't have rigged elections. You need strong borders, strong elections, and ideally a good press. I always say it.
Now, if we had a good press, we probably wouldn't have had the rigged election. Shout out to Hunter Biden's laptop being buried by just about everyone. But he said prosecutions are coming for those that rigged the 2020 election. Now, I do a bit of paying attention, and I've been watching the conversations online where they said all the voting rigging went through the electronic machines in where? Venezuela. President Trump also has leaned into those theories on True Social quite a few times. They have been everywhere. He was actually asked about it yesterday in the press briefing. President Trump came out. They were celebrating a year in office. He did the press briefing in place of Caroline Levitt. She was there, but they did the press briefing. And a reporter asked him about Maduro, Venezuela, and the 2020 election. This is what it sounded like yesterday at the White House press briefing room.
Spoke earlier,
Mr. President. You've been hearing from allies.
Thank you. Thank you so much, President Trump. Kara Castanova from Lindell TV. And you spoke earlier about the 2020 election. Now that Maduro is in U.S. custody and he was criminally charged, has any more information emerged that you could share with us regarding Venezuelan election software and Venezuelan ties to tampering with the 2020 election? And would you consider speaking to Maduro personally in prison in New York to get some answers on Venezuela's involvement with the 2020 election?
No, I don't think I would be doing that. I think my lawyers would be very unhappy if I did. Yeah, they've learned some things. Please.
So a lot of people hung onto that comment, and I'll be honest with you. The first time I heard the comment, he says, my lawyers wouldn't want me to speak to Maduro in a prison cell. They've learned some things. I took it as the lawyers have learned some things. Many people on the internet took it as the United States government has learned some things in regards to the 2020 election. We'll wait and see and find out. But I do find it very, very interesting that the president comes out on one of the biggest stages in the world, Davos 2026, and says prosecutions are coming for that rigged election in 2020. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to come. He could just be talking out the side of his mouth. Maybe they're going to come. I'm a bit black-pilled when it comes to prosecutions and holding people accountable. I want it to happen. But, we also thought that Hillary and Comey and all those actors would have been held accountable for what they did. They haven't yet. So I'm gonna remain optimistic as best I can, but I'm not going to count chickens before they hatch. I just found it very fascinating that he brought that up in the middle of Davos. Elsewhere, we're also looking for prosecutions. Minnesota, don't you know, FBI has served subpoenas to Governor Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, and Mayor Jacob Fry. Fox News had the story yesterday.
Just heard the FBI has apparently just served subpoenas to several officials here in Minneapolis, including members of the office of Governor Tim Walz. We will bring you more information as we get it on those subpoenas. Meantime,
so they're looking into them. They are actively investigating and digging into Tim Walz, Keith Ellison, and Mayor Jacob Fry. Will anything come of those investigations? Again, I don't want to count chickens before they hatch. Do I think that they've committed crimes? I certainly do. Certainly do. Do I have the full confidence in Pam Bondi? Not necessarily. She is on the ground today, or she was yesterday in Minnesota. So she's on the ground. They say that she's looking into fraud and seeing the operation and how it's going down there. But I don't know, man. Do we predict that we'll actually see some justice? Breitbart has the story. The Department of Justice is investigating Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry for obstructing federal law enforcement, according to Reuters, CBS, and other media outlets. The Justice Department issued subpoena alleging that two Democratic leaders are impeding federal law enforcement officers' ability to do their jobs in the state. Two people familiar with the matter confirmed. So we'll see what happens. I'm here for the investigations, and I hope that we find accountability. But I'm again, counting chickens before they hatch, not something that I want to do. And every time I've gotten excited about indictments or silver bracelets, we always come up a bit short. Earlier today, Donald Trump speaking in front of Davos, taking the time to call out world leaders by name. Let's start with the governor of the 51st state, Mark Carney.
All we want from Denmark for national and international security and to keep our very energetic and dangerous potential enemies at bay is this land on which we're going to build the greatest golden dome ever built. We're building a golden dome that's going to, just by its very nature, going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements.
Canada lives because of the United States. Mark, remember that the next time you make your statements. Mark, remember that. Oh, my gosh.
What we did for Israel was amazing, but that's nothing compared to what we have planned for the United States, Canada, and the rest of the world. We are going to build a dome.
Golden Dome, got to have Greenland, although military force has been ruled out. Mark Carney, not the only world leader that was called out by Donald Trump to their face as he spoke to the globalists in Davos. He also went after Emmanuel Macron, who you may remember yesterday we played a clip about how he's really excited about cozying up to China, and he also is wearing sunglasses because the future is so bright he needed to wear his shades indoors. That, or he might have caught another left hook from his very strong wife. President Trump calling out Emmanuel Macron.
Prove it. I said, I guarantee you. But I actually started with Emmanuel, who probably is in the room too. And I like him. I actually like him. Hard to believe, isn't it? And I said, Emmanuel, you're going to have to lift the price of that pill to $20, maybe $30. Think of that. That means it's a doubling of prescription drugs. Might be a tripling, might be a quadrupling. It's not easy. No, Donald, I will not do that. I said, yes, you will, 100%. He said, no. You're asking me to double. I said, Emmanuel, you've been taking advantage of the United States for 30 years with prescription drugs. You really should do it, and you will do it. I have no doubt. In fact, I am 100% sure you're going to. No, I will not do it. Because he has to, in all fairness to him, he has to double. or triple, because the world being a bigger place than the United States, it's not that you meet in the middle. You just have to go up some, and we come down a lot. They go up a little, we come down a lot. So we're at $130, they're at 10. So they may have to go to 20 or 30. No more than that. I said, Emmanuel, you're going to be doubling or tripling? No, no, no. I said, here's the story, Emmanuel. The answer is you're going to do it fast. And if you don't, I'm putting a 25% tariff on everything that you sell into the United States and a 100% tariff on your wines and champagnes. And that's about 10 times more than what I'm requesting. And you're going to do it. I don't want to go public with it, but you may make me do that. No, no, Donald, I will do it. I will do it. It took me, on average, 3 minutes a country, saying the same thing. You will do it. They all said, no, 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 I will not do it. You're asking me to double the cost of prescription. I said, that's right, because you've been screwing us for 30 years.
Unbelievable. I mean, the stones on this guy to walk in there, look these guys in their face, and then tell them we're not going to get screwed over anymore. Took him 3 minutes. 3 minutes to negotiate. You're going to do it. I know 100% you're going to do it. Donald Trump is a different animal, an absolute beast, and he's putting America first. However, while he's calling out Mark Carney, he's calling out the president of France, Emmanuel Macron. He did save a little bit of time to address U.S. politicians. Gavin Newsom, as you know, Scott Bessent said Gavin Newsom is in town. He's in Davos as well with his sugar daddy, Alex Soros. Donald Trump had some words for Gavin Newsom also.
In another month, we'll have virtually no crime there. We can do that all over. We're going to help the people in California. We want to have no crime. I know Gavin was here. I used to get along so great with Gavin when I was president. Gavin's a good guy. And we're going to, if he needed it, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'd love to see. We did help them a lot in Los Angeles, a lot with the early in my term when they had some problems. But we would love to do it. I will say this, if I were a Democrat governor or whatever, I would call up Trump. I'd say, come on in, make us look good. Because we're cutting crime down to nothing. And we're taking people out, career criminals, who are only going to do bad things, and we're bringing them back to their countries. But where we've done it, it's been amazing. And we have a capacity to do it at much greater levels. We're cutting illegal aliens off.
So he goes at Mark Carney. He goes at Emmanuel Macron. He takes shots at Gavin Newsom. This guy is just on a warpath in Davos. We'll have more audio on the way from Donald Trump in Davos. Plus, I'm going to bring you some of the highlights from his press briefing yesterday as well. Real quick, though, I need to stop down. We need to talk to our friend Bernadette Pager. She is the Tennessee director for Stand for Health Freedom. She is down at the state capitol today working to kill a bill. Bernadette, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, things are getting really nasty here, and it's very concerning. So yesterday I was told by a House member that Representative Pat Marsh would be joining the House Judiciary Committee today in time for the vote on the pesticide bill. Now,
before we go any farther, can we just explain what the pesticide bill is real quick so the audience understands?
Absolutely. I apologize. I should have started with that.
No, you're
good. House Bill 809 is the Pesticide Liability Shield Bill. What the bill says is as long as a product bears an EPA label, they've done their duty to warn, and you cannot sue them for failure to warn. And so anybody injured by a product, too bad, so sad, you won't be able to sue them if you're injured. And this covers more than 16,000 products in the state of Tennessee and all their foreign and domestic manufacturers.
And you're working today to put an end to that bill because you don't think that that's very fair.
Oh, my goodness, no. It's horrific. This is un-American, and it violates Article 1, Section 6 of the Tennessee State Constitution that says the right to a jury trial shall remain inviolate. They are absolutely, by even bringing this bill up, violating their oath to support and uphold the Constitution of this great state. I heard that Representative Pat Marsh was going to be joining the committee at the last minute. He is a co-sponsor of the bill, so he is a yes vote. It will be tipping it toward passage. And I also learned that as Speaker pro tem, he is authorized to join any committee at any time as a voting member. So while technically he's able to do this, this last-minute addition absolutely undermines the integrity of the legislative process and undermines the trust Tennesseans place in their representatives. Committees should be a place where we have transparent governance, not tactical gamemanship. This is so appalling. And you don't want to hear something that's really the irony of it all. Representative Pat Marsh is chair of the House Ethics Committee. Go figure. So I'm just asking people, pay attention at noon, show up at noon, and if this does happen and he shows up and sways the vote, I want everybody to contact their own House representative and let them know how appalled they are, that this is not how Tennesseans are supposed to work. This is not how the General Assembly is supposed to work. And tell them to vote no if it goes to the House floor. But let's try to shut it down now. This is shameful, sleight of hand in order to sway the vote on a very controversial bill.
Bernadette Pager is the Tennessee Director for Stand for Health Freedom. Where can we learn more information about this, Bernadette?
Please go to standforhealthfreedom.com, and you can click on the red banner. It says House Bill 809. Click on that banner, and it'll bring you what you need to know.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time and appreciate what you're doing down there.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Bernadette Pager on the line, Tennessee Director for Stand for Health Freedom. Love what she's doing out there. Definitely pay attention, support her and the work that she's doing. It is 10:23. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friend Shane Ring over at Cover Nash. One of the biggest misconceptions in health, one of the biggest myths that the big guys push is that, well, you can only get covered during open enrollment. That is a lie. You can get covered today. You can start saving money right now with Shane Ring. With Cover Nash, no waiting, no gimmicks. You missed open enrollment, no problem. You lost your job coverage, they got you covered. You're just sick of overpriced junk insurance? Talk to Shane Ring today. Cover Nash partners with over 75 top-rated insurance companies, including brand-new nationwide PPO options with deductibles as low as $250, flat $50 doctor visits, ACA-compliant plans with free preventative care, plans for individuals, families, self-employed folks, small businesses, you name it. Shane Ring has a plan for you. Stop overpaying, stop waiting, and stop thinking you're stuck, because you're not. You can talk to Shane. You can get covered today. You can go to covernash.com, or you can pick up the phone and give Shane a call, 615-465-0023, 615-465-0023, or find him online, covernash.com.
what the forecast is saying about the approaching winter storm, and another surprise announcement from President Trump at the World Economic Forum. Those stories at 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand, 1028, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I was just looking for a GIF of Nomar Garcia-Parra. Couldn't find one. I made the reference to my wife. She's been texting me. She has the show on YouTube at the house on the TV. I don't think she understands the reference because she texted me. She texted me this picture of me on the big TV. And she said, "What's with the basket?" And I don't know if you tuned into the show earlier today. Dan has broken our microphone because he messes with it all the time.
He's a fidgeter.
He fidgets. And it's like Nomar Garcia-Parra. He was a shortstop for the Red Sox back in the day. He would mess with his gloves and his helmet and his elbow pad and everything before he got up to bat. And that's Dan with the mic doing the fidgeting before he gets on the air. And so I literally, so she goes, my wife says, "What's with the basket?" I said, "Oh my gosh, Dan broke the mic." She goes, "Ha, ha, ha. That's so funny. It's because he messes with it." She literally said that. She said, "I see him pulling on it during the crisscross." Yep. We all came to that conclusion as well. We have to deal with this basket now. I don't know why Dan had a fruit basket laying around, but he did. And now the fruit basket has become the microphone holder because this is what you do at $1 million radio station. You know?
We're here for it.
We're here for it. We do. We're making do. We're making do. If you're watching us on Super Talk TV, you'll notice how lovely the basket is. It looks hand woven. You can only imagine that some little kid put a lot of work into this. That's
with their
from China,
teeny tiny little hands.
Teeny tiny little hands. It's the only way you can make baskets this great and woven. We're gonna have a lot of audio on the way from Donald Trump in Davos. Plus, I want to get to Minnesota, the investigations that are happening, the subpoenas that have been issued, the response from Attorney General Keith Ellison, and more. A lot to get to. Hang out with us. 10:30 Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Weather forecasting models are showing more warm air pushing up from the south, changing what we were expecting of the storm that arrives on Friday.
That warm nose is what could change some areas over to a wintry and icy mix going through the day on Friday into or Saturday, I should say, and then into Sunday. Notice that the European model changes much more of Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky over to that wintry and icy mix for the day Saturday all the way to Sunday morning, then kicks it out of here by Sunday afternoon.
Channel 4's Stefano DiPietro there. That means more snow to the north of I-40, more ice to the south. President Trump is making news at the World Economic Forum this morning, saying that the U.S. will not use military force to take Greenland, and his criticism of European countries for allowing a flood of immigrants to change the culture. He also had this to say about the 2020 elections.
People will soon be prosecuted for what they did. It's probably breaking news, but it should be. It was a rigged election. Can't have rigged elections.
Already, the Trump administration sued a Georgia county seeking access to 2020 voting records, demanding all the used and void ballots, stubs of ballots, signature envelopes, and digital files from Fulton County. Fortune is out with its annual list of the world's most admired companies.
Amazon is in third place among Fortune's most admired companies based on surveys of more than 3,000 executives, directors, and analysts. Microsoft comes in second, and despite complaints from fans and detractors about lagging innovation, Apple sits atop Fortune's list for the 19th year in a row.
ABC's Jim Ryan. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at ZeroRez Nashville. We got some inclement weather coming to the area this weekend, and depending on what model you look at, the American model says more snow. The EU model says more ice. who's going to trust a European, right? I'm hoping for more snow. If it's less snow, the kids are going to be tracking in mud and dirt along with it, because you know how it goes, right? The sledding hill quickly becomes a grass hill, and then that dirt, that mud is all in the bottom of their boots. So I'm hoping for a lot of snow so that way that doesn't happen. I am planning a preemptive strike, though, because I'll tell the kids, take the boots off in the garage. They never do. They'll hear me. They'll say, yes, sir. And then the boots will be taken off in the living room, on the carpet. The dirt will be there. The mud will be there. And I will be thankful that I booked ahead of time with my friends at ZeroRez. They use their exclusive ZR water. No soap, no harsh chemicals, no residue. Your carpets are going to look clean, stay clean longer. You should book ahead of time as well. Give my friends at ZeroRez a call today. 615-535-9376. 615-535-9376. Or you can book online, ZeroRezNashville.com. Should kids be on this platform, period?
No, it's not worth it. It's only going to create headaches for you.
Roblox itself, it is a predator haven. There are games on Roblox like XYZ Public Bathroom Simulator. That's about 7 million visits, and the whole premise of the game is showering together with kids.
It's basically open season for sex predators on this app. For this reason and all of the others that we've talked about today, Roblox is violating Louisiana law.
If you join it, you're going to see predators, you're going to see naked avatars, you're going to see people peeing and all this sort of weird stuff. If I was a parent and I saw that, I would be outraged. I would be totally outraged. And parents aren't aware of this.
Because there is so much content and it's so difficult to monitor, and there's, 40% of their users are under the age of 13. Of course, it's a place where predators have learned how to network and gather and groom children.
It's 10:37 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. On the way in the 11 o'clock hour, I got a wild story coming out of Antioch that you guys are definitely going to want to stick around for. The lawsuit has been filed in relation to the Antioch school shooting that took place.
Oh, good.
Have you seen that story?
Yeah.
We'll do it after 11 o'clock. We got some thoughts. Right now, I do want to talk about the charges that we're going to, or not the charges, excuse me. Let me step back. The subpoenas that were served to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, and Mayor Jacob Frey as part of the crackdown and investigation into how they're handling the ICE operations in Minnesota, as well as the fraud. I'm assuming this is how Fox News covered it.
Breaking news we have just heard. The FBI has apparently just served subpoenas to several officials here in Minneapolis, including members of the office of Governor Tim Walz. We will bring you more information as we get it on those subpoenas.
Well, it was the Justice Department serving those subpoenas to the offices of Governor Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, Mayor Jacob Frey, in connection with a probe into alleged conspiracy to impede federal immigration officers. 3 sources familiar with the matter told CBS News the subpoenas represent a significant escalation, they say, between the Justice Department and Minnesota officials. Of course, CBS frames it that way. You don't even get into the second paragraph of the article, and it's like, oh, man, the Justice Department sure is escalating things, as they're calling ICE a Gestapo and Nazis and a militarized force that is occupying Minnesota. Gee whiz. Sure wish the DOJ would stop escalating things. Unbelievable. The subpoenas represent a significant escalation, CBS says, between the Justice Department and Minnesota officials who have clashed over the Trump administration's intense crackdown against immigrants living in the state illegally. They were served on the same day that Attorney General Pam Bondi arrived for a visit in Minnesota. Multiple sources told CBS the subpoenas were sent in connection with the Justice Department investigation into state and local officials to see if they may have conspired to impede federal officers from discharging their duties. Sources said the Justice Department did not immediately respond for a request to comment. A copy of the subpoena seen by CBS does not specify which criminal violations the department is probing. However, multiple sources previously told CBS the primary statute being used as the basis for the probe is 18 U.S.C. 372, the same one that was used against some of the rioters who stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. We'll see what happens. CBS article then goes on to tell you how President Trump, they refer to him as Mr. Trump, President Trump pardoned all those evil, vile J6 rioters. Okay. So we have subpoenas being issued. Attorney General Keith Ellison responded to those subpoenas yesterday on MS Now. He seems a bit spooked. He seems a bit nervous, and I don't blame him. I think he has every right to be nervous because he understands that these guys have crossed lines. They have. Keith Ellison just the other day was on TV defending what we saw in that church in Minnesota. Yesterday, he was on TV defending himself and acting shocked that he received a subpoena.
We're going to look it over and we'll respond according to law. I can tell you, though, they're announcing investigations from all of us, and you mentioned 3 of us here in Minnesota. Actually, they're actually messing with the brand new mayor of St. Paul and the Hennepin County attorney. But they're not investigating the person who ended the life of Renee Good. There's no investigation on that at all. And so it's a little bit ironic as we're doing the work that we're elected to do by our constituents, standing up for our states, insisting upon the dignity and the rights of the members of Minnesota. They have not done anything close to what they should do when it comes to investigating a homicide. And again, I make no conclusion as to how the case should end up, but they have overtly and very deliberately stated we're not investigating anything. No one in the federal side is investigating the death of Renee Good.
And they shouldn't, because that officer clearly, by the video, acted in self-defense. He mentioned the St. Paul mayor. She is also on record saying that the churchgoers in Minnesota at that church deserve to be harassed. She's on the record saying that. He says that, there's no investigation into the officer that shot Renee Nicole Good. No. But they are going to be looking into Renee Good's wife because President Trump saying yesterday in the press briefing, he believes she was a paid agitator.
And I understand both sides of it. But when she was shot, there was another woman that was screaming shame, 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 right? You saw it so loud. Like a professional opera singer. She was so loud and so professional. She wasn't a woman that was hurt, like, oh, my heart's injured. She was a professional. She's shame, shame. She's screaming shame, shame. I said, that's not a normal person. That's a professional. These are professional agitators and professional people that want to see our country do badly. But that's not happening because we have the hottest country anywhere in the world, despite.
One of the things that President Trump did yesterday during the press briefing, which I thought was very powerful, is he brought a stack of photos of all the criminal illegal aliens they've gotten out of Minnesota. And underneath the photo, it was the crime that they were charged with. So they had, child rapists, pedophiles, convicted killers, gang members, sodomizers. I mean, you name it. The worst of the worst. These people are vile. I don't think that they belong in our country for a second. But it highlights these are the people that these radical leftists are defending. And when officials like Tim Walz and Keith Ellison and Mayor Frey get in the way, they're protecting and choosing to protect these illegal alien criminals over their own citizens, and it's disgusting. It is absolutely vile. How many videos have we seen now of ICE agents being like, hey, man, you know who you're alerting, right? Like, we're going after a child sex offender here. Oh, I'm not with ICE Watch. I'm with press. It's like, okay, got it. President Trump knows why they're in Minnesota. One of the main reasons is the Somali fraud. Massive Somali fraud. President Trump yesterday in the press briefing highlighted the massive Somali fraud, which we still need to get to the bottom of. We're only at the tip of the iceberg, but he had quite a few things to say about the Somalians in Minnesota. This was President Trump yesterday.
Insurrectionists. Nobody talks about the fact that $19 billion at a minimum is missing in Minnesota, given to a large degree by Somalians. They've taken it. Somalians, can you imagine? And they don't do it. A lot of very low IQ people, they don't do it. Other people work it out, and they get them money, and they go out and buy Mercedes-Benzes, and they come from here, they have no money. They never had money. They never had a life. They never had a government. They never had a country, because there's basically no country. Somalia is not even a country. They don't have anything that resembles a country. And if it is a country, it's considered just about the worst in the world. They come here and they become rich and they don't have a job. I was told that Ilhan Omar is worth $30 million. She never had a job.
He's right. He had quite a few things to say about Ilhan Omar as this goes on. In fact, he confirmed that they will be investigating Ilhan Omar. That broke yesterday. Ilhan Omar also under investigation. Subpoenas being served in a different matter with Waltz and Frey and Ellison. But Ilhan Omar and her net worth raises some eyebrows.
News alert, Ilhan Omar under investigation after racking up millions while she was in Congress. Senior national correspondent Kevin Cork has it. What's up, Kevin?
Good to see you, my friend. What's the old saying? Follow the money? Well, that's precisely what the House Oversight Committee is doing. They are probing squad member Ilhan Omar's skyrocketing family wealth, Jesse, especially in the wake of that $9 billion, some would argue $19 billion, Somali social services fraud scandal that exploded in her district in Minnesota. The Oversight Chair, James Comer, says his team's lawyers are exploring the extraordinary step of subpoenaing Omar's spouse over his curious business practices?
Well, listen. You're making how much does a member of Congress make? A couple $100,000 a year. You put that into a good credit union, you too could do that with your net worth. I mean, I'm shocked that you haven't done it yet. It's very easy to do. You find a good local credit union, good interest rates on that savings account. You too could turn $30,000 into $30 million. I'm shocked you haven't yet. to be perfectly honest with you. Ilhan Omar should be under investigation. She shouldn't even be a congressional rep in this country, if we're being perfectly honest. She married her brother. President Trump, not a fan.
We haven't had a boat taken in a little while. Came out of Somalia, really corrupt place. It's not a country. They don't have government. They don't have anything. I always hate to see this. Ilhan Omar, she comes from Somalia, a backward country, probably the worst country. They say it's the worst country in the world, if it's a country. I don't even think it's a country. There's no organization, no anything. They don't have police. They don't have military. They don't have anything. They just have people running around, killing each other and trying to pirate ships. But she'll come here, comes, and then she wants to tell us how to run our country. The Constitution says that I am entitled to this. I can't stand her. Terminated all tax.
I just love it. It's just the long pause. I can't stand her. I can't. It's just, I feel like that should be a hotkey.
I can't stand her.
I can't stand her. He also had some thoughts on what we saw in that church. The rioters, the protesters just storming up in a church. You know the guy with the big beard? You know who's bumped into him? Friends of the show, Bo Diddle and Gabe Victor. They've bumped into him.
Oh, really?
Because they were in here, was it last week?
Yeah.
They were in here last week after being in Minnesota over the weekend in the initial wave of protests and riots after the shooting of Renee Nicole Good. And they bumped into that lunatic on the street, who is 100% a paid agitator. And there's videos of him everywhere. His name's William Kelly, where he's out harassing National Guardsmen in D.C. He's out crying in front of an elementary school because ICE is targeting the elementary school. And it's like, no, they haven't, and they didn't. But, I digress. Yeah, Bo and Gabe bumped into him. You know what he was doing? Walking around hammered drunk in Minnesota.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. But he sobered up enough to run into that church. President Trump's thoughts on the church and Don Lemon.
Mental institutions from where they came, that's all they want to do. They're patriots, and they have to be abused by guys like Don Lemon, who's a loser, lightweight. I saw him the way he walked in that church. It was terrible. I have such respect for that pastor. He was so calm. He was so nice. He was just accosted. What they did in that church was horrible yesterday. Look at.
Then he continues holding up pictures. He had a stack of pictures that he just keeps going back to. And anytime he's done talking, he just holds up another picture of an illegal alien that has been arrested in Minnesota, which is, I think, is very powerful. And it confronts the fake news with the real story that they've been ignoring. He kept doing it. One of the pictures he held up of the criminal illegal alien arrested in Minnesota. Do you know how many convictions this knucklehead has? 24. 24 convictions. And these leftist, liberal, paid agitators are doing their absolute best to impede and obstruct ICE from getting monsters like this off the street.
Look at it here. 24 convictions. 24 times convicted. They're not charges. These are convictions. So he comes from outside the country. Do you think he's going to be good here? He's convicted 24 times. He's going to be good here, right? It doesn't work that way.
The left will tell us he's a future doctor, engineer, scientist, NASA astronaut, young scholar. We just need to give him more money for those programs. And then, and only then, we'll be able to turn things around. 10:51. We got a lot more to get to. Hang out with us. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at USS, United Structural Systems. We got rain coming in today, turns into snow Saturday, then we'll maybe have some ice Sunday. Whether it's rain, snow, or ice, they'll all turn into water eventually, right? And that water could be getting into your crawl space, could be getting into your basement, could be wreaking havoc on your home. And spoiler alert, the water damage isn't going to fix itself. The foundation problems don't get cheaper, and waiting is only going to make things worse. If you got water in your basement or your crawl space, you need people you can trust. So this is why I recommend United Structural Systems. These guys have been doing this for decades, since 1994. 30,000 satisfied customers because they do what they specialize in, waterproofing and foundation repair. Their experts are going to come to your home, track down exactly where the water's coming from, and install permanent solutions using American-made materials backed by a lifetime transferable warranty. That's how confident they are in their product. Even if you leave the home, the warranty can stay. No scare tactics, no temporary fixes, just real answers from real pros and work that is going to stand the test of time. If you're seeing moisture, cracks, doors that won't shut right, now is the time to act. Call United Structural Systems today. 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, or find these guys online, USSTN.com. All right, we're back on the live stream, and if you notice, Mason put a nice warning bar that says "Caution, Mandis was here," because Dan has broken our microphone. We have a fruit basket holding it up, and we're very excited. We're very excited that Dan keeps a fruit basket on the ready in case of these kind of things. You know, I feel like the engineering staff would be really impressed with the ingenuity from one Dan Mandis. Appreciate you guys being here on the YouTube chat. Let's jump in the chat. Let's see what you guys are talking about. What are you guys talking about? Turd Ferguson likes the caution Mandis was here, and we all do. We all do. Let's see. I don't know what they're talking about. He said, looks like when God gets those two get on, God runs them off. I don't know what you're talking about. What's up, Deborah? Dylan wants me to stay on until 3. Dude, I feel like I could do an 8-hour show. And it's not because I think I'm that great. I just think that there's so much content every single day of the week that it wouldn't be hard. So behind the scenes, we're nervous about, the weather. And Mandis and I were talking about Murphy-Lago. Is Murphy-Lago set up for broadcasting? Because he's going to be way out in Mount Pleasant when the ice storm and stuff hits. And I was like, man, if Murphy can't make it, I'll let New Suit know that I can jump in and do afternoons, just because there's no way all of us will be out of power, right? I think that's statistically improbable. But one of the reasons I'm confident that I could fill in is just because there's always more content in the current news cycle. So Matt does a great job, but I love Matt. But I would definitely jump in. Fly Crazy Girl TN said we had a seminar chatter in here. Oh, I missed it. I was looking for who's the other guy that always chimes in. Is it It's Milk? It's Milk chimes in a lot, right? Am I right? You saying something to me? No, Mason. I thought Mason was talking to me. It's Milk always jumps in. Haven't seen him in a while. I appreciate you guys being here. How come the chat slows down? As soon as I want to jump in and start talking to the chat slowed to a crawl. Chat slowed to a crawl. Turd Ferguson, yeah, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to rejoin radio. I love you guys, and I appreciate you being on the YouTube stream. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the other side.
President Trump says the words he says everyone wanted to hear, and I'll let you hear it coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. Ken.
What's going on, Brother Hand and Brother Mason?
Are you sticking with the European model, the American model, or are you hanging out in Apple Weatherland with the rest of us degenerates? What are you thinking, brother? Where are we going with this weather?
To quote the former President G.W. Bush, I'm sticking with American.
Let's go. We don't trust those European models.
But here's the thing, brothers.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Brother. All right, so they've changed this thing. Now we've got 4 categories that the National Weather Service is telling us to look out for, okay? It's gone from 2. It was just, maybe a winter storm. Oh, and here's the temperatures over the weekend. Now it's weekend snow, weekend ice, bitter cold this weekend, and then winter storm planning. Now, the weekend snow, they're talking about, here's the deal. Even the National Weather Service says there is up to a 50% chance of a foot of snow over the 3-day period.
Apple has it at up to 26 inches on Saturday and an inch on Sunday. But this storm, it's definitely going to impact this area one way or the other.
Oh, yeah.
But you zoom out, and this storm is going to impact about 2/3 of the country, it feels like.
It is.
It's like from Dallas, Fort Worth, all the way to Virginia on the East Coast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And here's the deal. The snow, okay, but it's what's going to happen after the snow, and that's the ice.
Yep.
And now they're talking about up to a 70% chance of ice for everybody south of I-40.
Well, that's where things are really going to get dicey because those tree limbs are going to be coming down and they're going to be taking power lines with them. It is an ice storm is one of the most chaotic things that you can experience.
Yes, sir.
I've experienced them a few times. I told this story earlier. I moved once during an ice storm.
Oh, man.
We moved. Me and my buddy Neil. We got an apartment together. I was 18.
Oh, well, when you're 18.
And we grabbed his brother RJ, two of my best friends growing up, and we moved during an ice storm.
Get out of town.
We did, from Pepperell, Massachusetts to Nashua, New Hampshire. And when we got to the apartment complex, we had to unload everything.
Yeah.
Everything is iced over. So we're moving couches and falling. And then when we finally got everything in, there was no power at the apartment. So it's probably 2 a.m. when it was all said and done moving. So we did what anybody would have done. Yeah. We plugged in the generator and put it on the second-story balcony at the apartment complex, and we had that bad boy running all night. New neighbors are here.
Anybody going to welcome us?
No, nobody. I don't understand. We were playing PS3 and just rocking out all night long. I swear, we didn't know why the neighbors didn't like us after that.
Do you have some Big E Smalls jamming out the walls?
There was a lot of that. There was probably too much. Probably too much, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But it was worth it, and it was awesome. I don't recommend grabbing a U-Haul and moving during an ice storm.
No.
Even though I've done it, take it from me. It's not as fun as it sounds.
No.
So I would recommend staying home all weekend and next week. That's what we're probably going to be doing. There's no way we all lose power, right?
You know what? In our neighborhood in Murfreesboro, all of our power lines are underground.
Same here.
And I'm telling you, Brother Chris, the only time we've ever had an outage was whenever they intentionally did those rolling blackouts back a couple of Christmases ago when it was, 1 degree for four or 5 days.
When they did it for science.
Yeah, for science.
11:01, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We're going to tell you all about that weekend snow and ice on the way during the full forecast in 5 minutes. President Trump now promising the United States will not use force to take Greenland from Denmark. He made the statement in his address today to the World Economic Forum there in Davos, Switzerland.
We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. Okay? Now everyone's saying, oh, good.
Well, he called for immediate negotiations with Denmark about the acquisition, but also said he would, as you just heard, not take it. We get more from ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
The president said when it comes to that acquisition, that those countries who are right now pushing back very strongly on his push on this, he said to them, we want a piece of ice for world protection. He kept repeating that. He also said they have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember.
Jurors set to begin deliberating today whether a police officer should bear some criminal responsibility for their role responding to one of the worst mass shootings in U.S. history. ABC's Peter Haralambos covering the trial there in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Prosecutors argue that former Uvalde School police officer Adrian Gonzalez missed a critical opportunity to stop the gunman before he was able to enter Robb Elementary. In the ensuing hour, 19 children and 2 adults died as police waited more than an hour to take out the shooter. Prosecutor Bill Turner.
When a child is in danger and calls 911, we have the right to expect a response.
But Gonzalez's lawyers have argued he acted appropriately based on the limited information he had, and that he's now being unfairly blamed for a broader police failure. From Corpus Christi, Texas, Peter Haralambos, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's 11:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners. You get those at betterwater.com. Why? Why do you need a water filtration system?
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
I mean, will somebody think of the frogs?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. What is that from? What's the yeah from? I don't recall that hotkey.
I added it in like end of last week, I think. It's just from a movie. It's Jeff Bridges saying yeah, and I thought it was funny.
I think it's funny as well.
It's a little goofy.
I don't think it even needs the context. I think it's great. Hey, shout out to our top-notch engineering staff.
Yeah.
Cleaning up the messes that the morning show makes.
So much appreciation. I had a little caution sign over the basket on the stream
So it's like every time we turn around with this morning show, you got somebody breaking something. Joan Jones is in here assaulting TVs whenever she gets a little bit upset. Then you got Dan Mandis breaking the microphones and the microphone swing arms. And it's our top-notch engineering staff always cleaning up the mess after those two guys get done with the show.
Yeah, we can't have nice things.
We honestly can't. We had to put a rock down here to protect the TV behind me.
Yeah, it's a piece
in
of a
case
cinder
Joan
block.
Jones swings open the door in an angry fashion again.
You got to watch that Joan Jones.
You do.
Well, and she worked for a while in the city of brotherly love.
Yep, that's where it comes
And
from.
we know about that.
That's why we call her Philly Joan. And Dan Mandis, surprising upper body strength, the way he can just rip a mic off a swing arm. I said,
Don't give him that much credit. He's from California.
I said, I don't know if I should be upset with you or impressed. Have you been working out? And he said, oh, I have. That's what he said. I said, it shows,
so
Dan. It shows. He's the strongest morning show host we have.
It's strong, strapping young man.
It's like, he's working out so much, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts wearing tank tops to work.
Oh,
dude,
Show
muscle
off his
shirt,
guns.
muscle shirt Mandis incoming. It should be the summer of muscle shirt Mandis.
I was about to say, I thought there's a sign at the door that says no firearms in the building.
Hey, you know everybody ignores that sign.
I know.
All right, I got a story here that is wild. I caught this on WSMV yesterday. Shout out to them. Great reporting. Lawsuit's been filed by a former assistant principal from Antioch High School. Let me read you the story, and then I want to get your input on it. There's a couple interesting angles here to go down. But let me lay out the story, and then we'll discuss. Former assistant principal at Antioch High School is suing the city and the school's principal, claiming that she developed post-traumatic stress disorder after last year's deadly shooting. Dr. Kelly Latham filed a lawsuit in Davidson County Chancery Court, alleging that on the day of the January 22nd shooting, she ran toward the cafeteria where the shooting took place, while the executive principal, Dr. Nikisha Burnett, ran away from the crisis. The lawsuit claims Latham was the first administrator on the scene, witnessed the shooter turn the gun on himself, and was left to take charge by organizing the evacuation and dismissal of students. The lawsuit alleges a similar situation occurred on May 8th, 2024, when Burnett received an alert about a gun on campus during a meeting with assistant principals. According to the filing, Burnett gasped at her phone, handed it to Latham, who ran toward the scene with another assistant principal while Burnett remained in the conference room. That threat was later found out to only be a water gun. The next day, the lawsuit claims, Burnett held a staff meeting where she falsely claimed she had responded by running to the incident, demonstrating concern for her image rather than decisive action expected of an executive principal. This is a salacious lawsuit. This is something that really makes a big allegation, said J.C. Bowman, an executive director for the Professional Educators of Tennessee. They say that post-shooting treatment was detailed in the lawsuit. The allegations about Burnett's behavior following the shooting. On January 24th, after a long day of helping with student item pickup, the lawsuit claimed Burnett called administrators to her office and lashed out, yelling, crying, calling the administrators ungrateful, and stormed out of her office. Then on January 30th, according to the filing, Principal Burnett ordered the assistant principal Latham and other assistant principals to publicly critique a teacher's lesson in front of students, then loudly criticize the teacher in front of students, staff, and administrators. The lawsuit states this caused such a distress that more than 30% of the staff called out sick the following day. Latham, the assistant principal in the story who is suing the city and the principal, was diagnosed with PTSD following the shooting, filed an on-the-job injury claim on February 17th. Lawsuit alleges the claim received minimal response despite multiple follow-up emails, with the only update coming on May 27th, stating the investigation was complete and awaiting final determination from senior leadership. Latham requested a transfer to another school in March due to mental health concerns. The lawsuit claims that she was subsequently removed from communications regarding scheduling and other assignments, then told in April that all assistant principals would need to reapply for their positions, essentially firing her as she was not rehired, despite being named the best instructional assistant principal by staff at Antioch High School, according to the lawsuit. She received a reprimand on May 7th for an incident from November of 2024, which the lawsuit characterizes as suspiciously timed. Lawsuit also alleges Burnett told potential employers at the school that Latham could not be trusted, interfering with her job search. Latham now works as a teacher, earning less than $36,000 less per year than her previous position, according to the filing. If she is truly the one who ran toward the shooting, and I think that's the bottom line, did she really run toward it? Did the other lady really run away from it? At the end of the day, that's going to be the question people are going to want to ask and have answered. Metro has responded, and the lawsuit includes claims for malicious interference with a business relationship, violations of the Tennessee Human Rights Act and the Tennessee Disability Act, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Metro Legal filed a motion to dismiss on December 3rd, arguing that the Metro government cannot be held liable due to sovereign immunity. The Metro is defending themselves. They have a 17-page motion. They claim that Latham has failed to state a claim for malicious interference with a business relationship because a party contract cannot be liable for tortuous interference with that contract. They contend that since Burnett was acting as an agent of Metro Nashville Public Schools, she cannot be considered a third party for the purposes of the tort. The motion also argues that Latham's intentional infliction of emotional distress claim fails to meet Tennessee's legal standard. That is a high bar, and it's going to be tough for her to prove that. So I have some questions, and I would love for you to weigh in on this. For starters, if we're operating from the standpoint that everything that is alleged in the lawsuit is fact, I would wonder, from the parents and grandparents in the audience, does a teacher have the responsibility to run towards an active school shooter? Is that her duty? Is that her responsibility to run towards the active school shooting? 615-737-9986. And if that is, does the principal have any credibility left for running away from the school shooting? Should she be held accountable? Should she still be the principal at Antioch High School? If it is your kid's school, do you think that the teachers have a responsibility to run towards danger? I'll be honest with you. I don't think that there's a way that you could. I don't know. If I was talking to my kids, I would say don't count on the teacher to do the right thing. Just don't. People act crazy in stressful situations, and even if the training is to run towards danger, until it happens, you can't be sure that that's going to be the case. And as alleged in the lawsuit here, the principal ran away. Under Tennessee law, this lawsuit is going to be very, very hard to win. Let's just be perfectly honest. The city, the school officials, they're going to be shielded from a lot of these lawsuits, especially over how they respond to emergencies, especially violent ones like a school shooting. You have in Tennessee something called the Governmental Tort Liability Act. It gives cities and school districts immunity unless the law specifically takes it away. Decisions about emergency response, leadership, staffing, post-crisis management, those are considered discretionary decisions and immunity applies. The lawsuit also claims emotional distress. We mentioned that earlier. That is a very, very high bar to meet. You don't see people winning these cases because someone failed to check on them, didn't communicate well, or handling a crisis poorly. The conduct has to be so outrageous that it would shock the conscience. Courts have repeatedly said bureaucratic coldness or bad leadership doesn't qualify. And third, and this is huge, workers' comp. If an employee suffers trauma or PTSD as a result of something that happens on the job, Tennessee law says workers' comp is the exclusive remedy. You don't get to bypass that system and sue your employer in civil court because the injury is psychological. And then the discrimination claims, PTSD alone doesn't automatically trigger liability. The plaintiff has to prove an adverse employment action because of a disability. Employers are not required to eliminate essential job duties, and they're not required to keep someone on a roll if they can't perform core functions. Finally, no specific duty, no special duty under Tennessee law requiring a principal to provide individualized protection or emotional support to another administrator during or after a shooting. Courts don't create those duties because of sympathy. So, tragic situation, yes. Real trauma, yes. Legally, the bar is so high here that this is probably headed for dismissal. But parents in the audience, what do you think? Would you want your teachers running towards danger? Do you think that they have that responsibility? 615-737-9986. Let's go to Kaiser in Clarksville. What's up, man? How are you?
Good morning. Listen, there's a charge, legal. You can be arrested for depraved indifference. There's been examples where someone has fallen and accidentally broken their arm, and someone had walked past them and failed to do anything to help them, and they were arrested for depraved indifference. So, yes, not running towards that area to help them kids. Yeah, that woman could have been charged for depraved indifference, and it sounds brutal, but it's a reality, man. There's laws on the books that a lot of people really just don't care anything about and don't even consider. So that, she could forget the morality of not doing it, but just the fact that you didn't run to help somebody in that situation, you could have went to jail for depraved indifference.
Yeah, well, hey, I appreciate the call. 615-737-9986. I'll look into the depraved indifference. First I'm hearing about it. A lot of people on the text line are like, absolutely not. She shouldn't have run towards the danger. The text line is exploding with people coming to the principal's defense. And 1570, I would never expect an unarmed, untrained person to run towards an active shooter. Hey, I hear you. I do. This is why we need teachers with guns, right? Like, this is why we need armed faculty members who are willing to run towards that danger. 100%, full stop. I got another text here. Josh texted in, and I agree with him. He goes, I hate to say this, but I'll excuse a woman, but not a man. Your thoughts, 615-737-9986. He said, call me what you want, but it's true. I tend to agree with that. I do. 5752, you never know how you're going to react until you're in that emergency type situation. I don't feel it should be law that we force people to react a certain way. Alan in Lebanon is a teacher. Alan, your thoughts on this, and give me a little insight into the training that you get on the job. Got you. That's my fault.
He wants to talk on the teacher.
Yeah. No worries.
That's my fault.
Give me your thoughts.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of insight on this that a lot of companies will tell you. There's three things that you have to do: either run, hide, or fight. And the fighting would be the last thing that you do, but the very first thing that you do is run. And that's my first opinion on that she done the right thing. And my second opinion is you've got a lot of hungry lawyers out there that'll take a case or try to make a case on anything. So
if you're the judge, are you throwing this out of court? Are you dismissing this?
Oh yeah. I don't think that lady done anything wrong. That teacher by running. Her life is her own.
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from, Alan. I appreciate the call. Let's go to Gail, also in Lebanon. Gail is a retired teacher. Give me your thoughts on what you're hearing from this lawsuit being filed, but from a teacher's perspective.
Well, from a teacher's perspective, I was taught. I'm retired, of course. I was taught to stay in the classroom with your students to protect your class, as each teacher should. Now, as far as the principal or the personnel in the office, I can't account to that exactly, but as a teacher, I want to stay and protect my students that's under my care. So if that, if that would help, but that's the way I had been trained several years ago.
If you had heard that this happened in your school, and that the assistant principal ran toward the danger. The executive principal ran away from the danger. How would you react to hearing something like that?
Oh, I'd be disgusted. I think if one's going toward, that person's going to need as much help as possible. I think one person can't do it all. And
would you lose all respect for that principal?
I would for that assistant principal if she took off and ran in the opposite direction. I would.
So it was the principal that took off and ran. It's the assistant principal that's suing. Do you think with the principal staying on the job?
I apologize.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to clarify. Do you think though, given what you know, being a retired teacher, does she lose the confidence of the staff there at the school once that spreads around?
Oh, absolutely. I believe she would lose the confidence of the staff, and not only that, she would lose the confidence of all the parents that had students in her school.
So do you think that she should move on and find another job elsewhere?
I do, and I probably just stay in administration and stay out of an active school,
But you also disagree with the lawsuit.
Not entirely. I have mixed emotions about it, so I really don't, I won't say either way. I just know that how I was trained 15 years ago, we stay with our students. If we're in the classroom and we hear something going on, we make sure the door's secure and the children are safe.
Well, Gail, I appreciate the call and I appreciate the insight. We'll keep you updated on this story as more details become available and as this lawsuit moves through the court. I think it's fascinating, and I'm interested to see how it lands. It's 11:24. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, we're back on the stream. So I just saw this making the rounds on the internet. Gavin Newsom and his sugar daddy Alex Soros are in Davos. But Gavin just gave an interview with CNN, and I have not seen the clip. I'll be perfectly honest with you. We're going to watch this together in real time. But the internet is accusing Gavin of being on something, being on drugs. Eric Doherty posted the clip. And he says, Americans are speculating Gavin Newsom is on something in Davos after Trump's speech, unable to speak coherently, darting his eyes all over the room, and erupting in rage. Let's watch this together and let's see what we think.
Speech. You were obviously named by President Trump during that speech. Yeah. What was your reaction to what he had to say about you?
None. I think he said something very different last night. I didn't hear new scum. I heard new green scam. But I mean, come on. It was remarkably boring. It was remarkably insignificant. He was never going to invade Greenland. It was never real. So that was always a fake. And so he says, well, we should negotiate. Well, everybody here has been willing to negotiate for a year. So it had fire and fury signified absolutely nothing. Even by Trump standards, I was rather curious. And there was boorish parts of it, but those were not even that consequential, including name-checking people he
I don't know.
likes,
what do you guys think in the chat?
So
Does he look like he's on drugs?
Honestly, it was just I was a little disappointed. I was a little nonplussed.
Did it stand out to you that he said Iceland multiple times when he was talking about Greenland?
And that every time a windmill turns, it costs $1,000. A lot of stuff stands out.
I mean, he kind of looks like he's definitely a bit flighty. He looks. Do you think he's on something? Mason, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Is it like an iffy?
It could also be that he's just really.
I can't hear you because
it's also that he could be really tired from what's going on.
Could also be that he's really tired from what's been going on. Maybe it's just sleepy Newsom. It's not drug-induced Newsom. It's sleepy Newsom. That's what Mason's going with. Oh, nobody could see it. Nobody could see it. You didn't put it up on the screen. Mason messed up. Here, let's put it on the screen real quick. Let's see what we can get.
People he likes, people he didn't like. So, I just...
All right, drivers in Rutherford County, we've got rolling roadblocks blocking the right two lanes, 24 eastbound at Sam Ridley Parkway in Smyrna. Then closer to downtown Nashville, they're about to clear up a wreck, 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. We have had 2 false threat calls at high schools in Middle Tennessee. We'll tell you about those and more top stories at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom, and let the record show he doesn't follow any European models.
American
models only.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about weather, by the way, not.
Yeah, those either.
not actual models.
Actually, I don't follow either.
Yeah.
That would get me in trouble.
Yeah, why would you follow a European model where they base everything around the freezing point of water?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Also, the metric system sucks.
Yeah.
You remember when they tried to tell us as kids, like, oh, everybody's going to be switching over?
It's like, look at us now.
They told me so many lies in school. They were like, oh, everybody's going to do the metric system. And then they also said, you'll never have a calculator in your pocket. And then the best one was they told me acid was going to rain out of the sky. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Acid rain. I remember the cartoons. It'd be like a guy and his rain jacket's falling off and there's holes in his umbrella.
I remember quicksand being a bigger issue told to us growing up.
Yeah, that scared me to death back whenever I was in elementary school.
I had fears that walking around in the woods I might encounter quicksand.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like you don't know where it's going to pop up.
Right.
Yeah. Never-ending story ruined my life.
Oh, yeah.
The horse disappearing. I was like, oh, that's going to happen to me.
So Virginia loves Never-Ending Story.
Yeah.
Loves it. Grew up on the movie. And she made the kids watch it a couple years ago. And she goes, totally forgot about the horse dying.
Yeah.
And then
it's a crucial part.
And I was like, yeah, that's kind of a big thing you missed. And she quickly shot at me. She's like, you put on Mel Gibson's The Patriot. And I was like, all right, fair.
Yeah, but you knew it was coming in that.
I forgot about the opening scene where the body's floating down the river.
Oh, that's
we made it 6 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, at least you don't see the horse body after it goes under.
It's like, definitely forgot about that. It's like, should I fast forward or you want me to put on something else? She's like, something else. Okay. Understood. On the way, we got a lot of topics to talk about in the lightning round. Is Gavin Newsom on drugs in Davos? That's a question that people are asking on the internet. We're going to react to the video that is making the rounds next after the headlines with Ken Weaver on Super Talk.
$11:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We are tracking the potential for inches of snow and ice this weekend. Going to tell you more about it during the full forecast in 5 minutes. Riverdale High School in Murfreesboro placed on a precautionary hold this morning after police say they got a call about a possible threat. Officials say the report appears to have been a false alarm. A heavy police presence surrounded the campus as officers investigated. No active threat confirmed. No injuries reported. Meanwhile, here in Nashville, Metro School says a threatening note found at Antioch High School was investigated and determined to be a hoax. Police and school security say there's no credible danger to students or staff at Antioch High School. And an investigation is now underway in the Compton area of Los Angeles County after Border Patrol agents opened fire this morning ABC's Alex Stone in Los Angeles has the developing details.
Border Patrol agents were conducting an operation in the Compton area after 7 a.m. this morning when the LA County Sheriff's Department says a federal agent shooting occurred. Shots were fired by a federal agent at suspects, and there may have been a car chase, but nobody was hit by the gunfire, and the person or people they were after were taken into custody. Nobody was injured. There is a crashed car at the scene, and heavily armed federal agents protecting the area as onlookers stand at crime scene tape taking videos. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Back here in Nashville, Metro Police say a 46-year-old man has been arrested for taking lewd, upskirt photos of women and a girl at Nashville area stores. Investigators link Kevin T. Jackson to incidents at Home Goods in Bellevue and a Target in Donaldson in June of 2024. Detectives say store video shows him crouching with his phone aimed upward at unsuspecting shoppers. Jackson bonded out of jail within hours. He's also facing a related charge in Williamson County. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friend Aaron Parker over at Parker Safes and Vaults in Shelbyville. These guys are the best. If you need a real safe, a legitimate safe, you can get it at Parker's. They review every safe that they have in stock online on their YouTube page. Just search for Parker Safes on YouTube. You'll see a ton of videos of them breaking down everything that they have in stock, and you're going to find real safes. Listen, if your safe can be pried open, tipped over, or attacked with basic tools, it's not a safe. Parker Safes and Vaults in Shelbyville sells serious, heavy-duty safes, including UL-rated TL and TR models designed to withstand real-world attacks, tools, torches, and time. These aren't just for firearms. They're ideal for gold, silver, cash, jewelry, passports, photo albums, things that you don't want to lose. Aaron Parker knows security, Air Force security veteran, former park ranger. This is a Christian, family-run operation where Aaron and his sons handle everything from delivery to installation themselves, discreetly and professionally. They serve all of Middle Tennessee, Nashville, and beyond. They've even delivered to Kentucky and Missouri. Nashville's super easy. 931-842-6445, 931-842-6445, or go to parkersafes.com. It's 11:37 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. My little sister's texting me right now. My little sister lives in Hazel Green, Alabama. I got a text. She just texted me, said, "Hey, do you think I need a generator for this weekend?" I said, I don't think you're going to find a deal if that's what you're looking for.
Absolutely not.
Listen, Hazel Green, Alabama. That's right over the line. That's ice territory. It's
in the range.
It's gonna be messy. It's gonna be messy. I said to her, well, in your neighborhood, your power lines are underground. She's like, well, we lost power Saturday because somebody crashed into a telephone pole.
That's nice.
That's a little different. I mean, they're out on the main roads. They're up on the main roads near us too. But when they're underground in the neighborhood, it makes you feel a little bit better, right?
Just a little bit.
I feel better about that. But I said, if you get it, you're not going to be using it. And if you don't get it, then you're going to need it. So plan accordingly. Thanks, Chris. All right, perfect.
Keep gassing your car.
Happy to help. 615-737-9986. If you want to join the show, we got a little bit of time left. You know what time it is, actually. It's time for the lightning round.
It's the lightning round with Chris Hand.
We do it every day at this time. We call it the lightning round. We run through all the stories that we didn't think could fill a whole segment. All the stories that we want to get to, but we'd run out of time if we didn't have the lightning round. Story number one. I read the list, and I took it personally. Have you seen the list?
Which list? Because the one that was in the news recently, I don't think you want to take personally.
What list was in the news recently?
Yeah, Epstein.
Oh, no. They're going to hold him in contempt. Did you see that? Clinton.
Oh, yeah.
Not Epstein. He's dead. Allegedly. It depends on which weaponized autist you trust on the internet. Because these guys will be comparing earlobes and being like, I don't know if that's him.
I don't know. Not as good as the Paul McCartney double.
Exactly. Yes. No, I was talking about the list of best grocery stores in the country.
Oh.
You don't
Aldi on top.
You don't think that's fascinating?
I do too. I do. I just know people's answers are wrong.
They 100% are wrong, actually. That's the most correct Mason has been all day.
Oh, shucks, man. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Wait a second.
These are the top 10 grocery stores in America.
Okay.
Number one, I haven't even heard of. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
Lay it on me.
Heb?
Oh, HEB.
Yeah, what is that?
It's a Midwest West Coast.
They say it's the best grocery store in America, and I think that's a lie.
I do too.
Number two, I think, should be number one. Market Basket. You ever hear of Market Basket?
Nope. It's a northern one, isn't it?
Oh, it's up in Massachusetts. It was actually
it is. One
of my first jobs as a young lad. I put on the collared shirt, a tie, and an apron, and I bagged groceries at Market Basket.
Ah, so you have employment bias.
Dude, I loved it. It used to be called Demoulas because it was owned by the Demoulas family.
Can you say it in a normal accent?
It was owned by the Demoulas family, and you knew who had been around there for a long time and who hadn't, because the real ones didn't refer to it as Market Basket. They referred to it as Demoulas.
Yeah, it never changes.
No, it doesn't. Market Basket comes in at number two. Number three, Woodman's. Also never heard of.
I feel like that's a Midwest.
Number four, Costco. And I feel a little bit off considering that a grocery store, if I'm being honest.
It's an everything store, but
they sell too much of other stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, would you count Walmart as a grocery store?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's an everything store.
Yeah, that's fair.
So number four is Costco. Number five is Aldi, which I think is criminally underrated.
Yeah,
that should be higher up on the list.
I feel like that should be top three.
Number six, Winco Foods. Yeah, meh. Number seven, Trader Joe's.
Overpriced,
and actually, I feel like it's a big marketing tactic, and a lot of the stuff is just as processed as everywhere else.
Oh, absolutely, it is.
It's just in nicer packaging.
Yeah, it's like Whole Foods, but with a better name. A
bit more arrogance.
Yeah. Guaranteed flannel.
I will. All right. I will. Let me just own this. I have liked going into Trader Joe's, though.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
We got one in Murphy's. We got one in the borough.
Mm.
And we go in it from time to time.
It's an experience.
One of the things I like to do is we'll go to the gym. My wife and I will go to the gym Saturday morning, and then we'll stop there and grab a salad on the way home.
That's good.
It's good. It's good. So I have positive memories associated with it. Rounding out the top 10, Amazon Fresh, that's stupid.
No, keep it off.
Wegmans, which is actually pretty dope.
Wegmans is good.
And then ShopRite.
I haven't heard of ShopRite.
You know who didn't make the list?
Publix?
Kroger or Publix. There's some very upset Floridians.
Yeah, understandably so. I think Kroger should be on the list. I like Kroger. Kroger was the one I grew up going to. I know it's a little more, I was going to say, like, widespread, but it's really not.
Out west, they don't even call it Kroger. They call it Fry's.
Yeah, which is
really weird. And it's also like, it mimics like Meijer from the Midwest.
Yeah.
Where they also try and sell everything. Not a fan. I feel like you just got to pick a lane.
That's fair.
All right.
Yeah. I'm glad Publix didn't make the list.
You're glad Publix didn't make the list?
Overpriced as all get out, and the only thing saving them is pub subs.
Okay. I got a new story for you here in the lightning round. This is a developing threat to many, many individuals. Are you ready for this?
Oh.
The rise of Ozempic neck.
What?
What is this?
It's a real thing, you guys, and millions of Americans are going to be suffering from it.
Goodness.
Dramatic weight loss can wreak havoc on areas of the body prone to sagging. The advent of weight loss drugs on the mass market have offered a lifeline for many of us unhappy with our waistlines. This is from the Daily Mail. I didn't write this.
That's me every day.
But there's a new physical side effect that's very hard to run from, say doctors. When the fat melts away, as drugs such as Ozempic and Mounjaro work their magic by suppressing appetite, those who take them exalt that the benefits are as plentiful as the food they once devoured. But there's the raft of health pros. Slim down souls rave about better sleep, improved mental wellness, decreased risk of developing serious conditions such as heart disease and diabetes. However, others will readily admit the motivation for spending up to 250 pounds a month on a weight loss jab is purely vacuous, fired by the quest to look better and feel sexier. And then the latest side effect pops up that's hard to swallow. Ozempic neck. It's a twist on the traditional turkey neck, which has long been associated with the aging process and takes its name from the crepe-like red waddle on real-life turkeys.
Gobble, gobble.
It's firmly on the rise, say experts. I got some pictures on the stream. Oh, look, there's before and after Sharon Osbourne. This is pre-Ozempic neck and then Ozempic neck. It does look weird.
I like the use of words there. It's firmly on the rise.
It's firmly on the rise. Sharon Osbourne admitted to taking Ozempic, and it left her looking physically too gaunt. And there's pictures of her with Ozempic neck. She says, I can't put weight on now, and I don't know what it's done to my metabolism, but I just can't seem to put any on. I think I went too far. Experts agree. Ozempic neck finds itself to a growing list of terms that describe the often irreversible, if you remain slim, you could always get fat again, consequences of being half the person you once were. There's already, listen to this one, there's already Ozempic feet, referring to sagging or aging skin on the feet due to rapid fat loss.
Goodness.
Ozempic face and Ozempic butt.
Whoa.
Also caused by dramatic reductions in body fat.
Well, that starts whenever you're 40.
That's true. That's true. What would you rather have? Ozempic feet, Ozempic face, Ozempic butt, or Ozempic neck?
Ozempic butt, definitely. Because I don't have far to go.
Okay. That's the least. That's the road that would be least traveled. I feel like I would go Ozempic feet. I'm not a flip-flop guy.
Yeah, easy to cover up.
Yeah, but what if it itches really bad whenever the skin crinkles up?
Ooh. Like, you ever get that shoelace that just like oddly gets like stacked in your shoe and like, you can feel it?
Yeah.
Imagine if that was your skin all day.
Yeah.
Then
you'd have to take your shoes. You'd have to take your shoes off and scratch your feet.
In public.
A lot.
Yeah.
You might be forced to wear flip-flops at that point.
Of course, that might be better than scratching your butt.
They say the face and the neck, most visible parts of the human body. follow the science. So, Ozempic neck. There's also pictures of before and after fat Rosie O'Donnell. She's got Ozempic neck. There's before and after fat Whoopi Goldberg. She's got Ozempic neck. Whoopi, I feel uncomfortable looking at these before and after pictures of Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Am I the only one?
I don't think I've seen her. I can't remember the last time I've seen her.
She looked like Whoopi Goldberg at one point, and then now she looks like a member of the rap group Onyx. So
30 years later.
So maybe that's what she was going for. Maybe that's an improvement. Got another story for you here in the lightning round. All right, this one, I don't know. Get your finger on the dump button because I didn't preview the audio. This might be the funniest video on the internet. It has racked up 50.5 million views. Female bodybuilders, really strong broads, versus athletic dwarves. Who you got?
And they are the world's strongest dwarves. And they'll be competing in strength competitions, all to find out who is stronger.
You're going down.
Yeah. No, you're going down. Go. Easy. Drive. 585 pounds on the bar.
It's a very strong dwarf.
Yep. Good job, Zoe.
I mean, he beats the women on the squats very easily. Very easily. Bodybuilding dwarfs versus bodybuilding women's.
Come on, big dog.
Then they wrestle.
Come on.
And the dwarfs are just taking out these women.
No way. No way.
I mean, dwarves are winning easily. Bodybuilding dwarfs versus bodybuilding women.
I got low center of gravity.
That's what I was about to say.
YouTuber Jesse James West held a competition to see who's stronger between tall, strong bodybuilder women and strong dwarf men. He had some observations. The dwarf men easily crushed them. The women were very egotistic, serious, and competitive. And the dwarves were just having fun.
They're running all over the place.
They're like running circles around him.
Cheering and yelling.
Bad.
Come on.
And they're crushing them on the deadlifts. And then they did one challenge where they had to run carrying a member of the other team. And the women were like falling over carrying the dwarf. But the dwarves were carrying the women no problem. I mean, these guys are jacked. Like it's a pretty wild experiment. You know, gender equality and gender norms. It's a social construct, they say. That's what they tell us. Do I have time for one more story in the lightning round?
You got time for one more.
I got one more. I got time for one more in the lightning round. You remember when everybody was in an uproar because of the Bad Bunny No English halftime show at the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Well, the NFL heard your complaints, and they said, we'll fix it. We're going to add Green Day to the pre-show.
Oh, interesting. So let me get this straight. 2 bands from other countries are hosting our Super Bowl.
Well, Green Day's from here.
From Canada.
They're from Canada? I thought they were from
so.
I thought they were from the West Coast. I thought it was like Seattle. I thought they were one of them grunge kids. Like Seattle or Portland. Am I right or are you right? Mason might be right. National Football League is adding yet another far-left anti-Trump musical act to its Super Bowl event with the announcement that leftist band Green Day has been tapped to play during the big game's opening ceremony. Green Day frontman Billy Joe Armstrong has spent years attacking Donald Trump, MAGA voters, and Republicans, has called Republicans fascists, and even changed the lyrics to his tunes to attack the political right and Israel. Do you remember when he played the song and he's like, I'm not a part of the MAGA agenda?
Yeah.
Remember that?
No, they are from California. I'm thinking of
what do you think?
Weird Al's version Canadian Idiot.
Oh, all right. Billy Joel Armstrong has spent a lot of time attacking Trump and his voters, many of whom are NFL fans. I mean, how often does the NFL need to pee on you and tell you it's raining before you go, I don't think that they like us.
Ah, that's the acid rain.
There it is. There's the acid rain. I mean, honestly, I'm shocked that there's been no competitor to the NFL. Like, somebody needs to make a non-woke sports league. I mean, I guess one guy did. It was Dana White in the UFC, and they've done actually pretty good for themselves, believe it or not. But what is this? Why do they continue to do this? Nobody wants Bad Bunny. Nobody wants Green Day. And I'm still wondering what's up with the Turning Point USA halftime show, right? Like, is that still happening?
As far as I know.
They haven't announced anything yet.
No.
I mean, there were rumors swirling for a while, and then it kind of lost steam. Anytime I bring it up to anybody, they're like, we'll see. So, but
you got next Tuesday.
We could always do it next Tuesday with Tifo Tuesday. But yeah, this is the NFL. Congratulations.
Welcome to the NFL, yeah.
Yeah. 11:53. We'll check in with Chad Benson on the way. See what he's got coming up on the Chad Benson Show. Hang out with us at Super Talk 99.7 WTN. 11:58, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Ken Weaver's in the newsroom. Mason Fleming is producing, and I think it's just me and Chad that are the only ones that are excited about the snow.
Super pumped, man.
I'm super pumped.
I'm so excited.
I'm going sledding so much.
Matt was telling us yesterday that his house, right, Murphy-Lago, is at the top of this hill. So people actually, they said, oh, if the snow comes, the neighbors were telling him, get ready because everybody comes to your street, goes way up there, and it's this long thing, and everybody sleds all day.
Let's go.
I said, yeah, that's going to be good.
Is Murphy-Lago set up for inclement weather? Do we know?
I think it is mostly set up for that, but he had a couple things. He said there was a couple glass issues they had to get taken care of, but I think it's ready for us.
Because it's not out of the realm of possibility that Mandis, myself, and Murphy all lose power.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be Chad 99.7.
I'm there. Let's do it.
You can walk to work.
Because I could walk to work.
Yes.
It's just yeah, but he was wondering that about the power and stuff. I said, well, you're going to find out, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, luckily, it is really the big stuff's coming like that Friday into Saturday, so we might not have to worry about that. Monday, it's going to be 7 overnight. What?
It's crazy. I'm so excited.
I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. And you got your sleds and stuff.
We got the sleds. We got So I didn't even realize this. We broke a couple last year. So we're down a couple. So my wife is scouring Facebook Marketplace as we speak. So if you see a nice lady reaching out to you about a sled with the last name Hand,
it's her.
Cut her a deal.
Cut her a deal. Get her a good deal, too. Those kids want to have fun. So does Chris, mostly.
Yeah. And I don't, we didn't get enough likes or subscribes to pay what you're asking. So hit like and subscribe on your way out. Chad Benson's in next. It's Super Talk 99.7 WT.